Everybody, Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And I want to make some scrap piles to add more terrain on the ground to make things a little more interesting. And I want the scrap piles to be like robots have been collecting stuff for a long time and they've come across. Because I plan on building like a storage warehouse of some sort or some kind of droid, I don't know, something like that. And I need some cool scatter for those kind of fights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this is like board game material, like board game, game board pieces, and this is from a game that had a bunch of these thick cards in it. I use these a lot, but they're essentially the same thing that game boards are made of. And I'm just going to kind of cut that. And then I want my edges a little rounded. It's easier to do with thicker scissors, for sure. So oops, I'm making a mess over there. Okay, something like that. Now I want to have some different kinds of racks. I thought it'd be cool to have some racks with metal and wire and whatever. So, and pipes maybe of some sort. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create some uprights to hold stuff in place. So I'm just going to use skewer because I have a lot of it. And you could use pieces of cardboard or anything to do this really, but I've chosen to use skewer pieces. And I'm going to make it just like a little cool rack. Something like that. Then I'm just going to get a piece of anything. This is a like a hors d'oeuvres kind of thing, I think. I have like a package of these that I got at Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut off a nub. Two little nubs. I'm going to mount those onto that piece. Like that. That's going to be how wires I could put wires on that is what I'm thinking. Okay. Sweet. So, in this rack, I'd like to do some what'll look like corrugated. And I'm just going to use this piece to get some of that excess off. Okay. I'm just going to put a tiny dab of glue on there just to hold that in place for now. Okay. Tiny dab of glue there. Hold that in place for now. And for that piece, I'm just going to get a little bit on the bottom. Okay. I'm just going to kind of shove that one in there and hope it holds. Then I'm going to do another rack. I want to make this more look like a pallet. So let me see if I find any flat kind of. Yeah, here we go. Something like that. We want those to be roughly the same height, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to hold off putting those on for a second. Let's get something to use as our wire. And this could be wire or tubing or whatever you want it to be. And just to kind of get that in the right shape so it slides over that. Oops. I'm just going to do something like this. If my hands will work. I'm just going to hang that on there. Maybe. Maybe. All right. We'll just dab that back on there quickly. Then I want a roll that's kind of bigger. Hang on that top one. So I'm just going to get something a little fatter to wrap it around. Inside this piece of sprue here, I'm going to use that. Get a tiny dab of glue. Kind of hold that in place. Okay. Now I'm going to get these on here. Just like that. Dab of glue. Dab of glue. And I'm going to get some little pieces to be like pipes. So I have coffee stirrers, which are going to be perfect for this. You don't want all your pipes to be the exact same length, and maybe not even the same size, so grabbing a regular straw might be a good idea too. I look for a straw. I know I own straws. Can't find a straw to save my life. Which drawer did I put straws in, you bastards? Just be patient, I'm looking. Aha! Drinking straws. Okay. Something like that. Okay. And then we want to do regular metal. And I think the way to do that would be pretty easy. And then this just kind of thematically fits in with the world. We'll put a couple pieces there. This did not stick well, so I'm just going to get some glue. Put that back in there. There we go. It might stick better when that super glue is dry, though. We don't know. Let's get a couple rivets to throw on some stuff just to make it look kind of neat. Okay. You don't need rivets in every build. But they look good in mini builds. Point's not grabbing stuff. Maybe some super glue or something on there. There we go. I think that'll pretty much do it. I'll put one more on here for fun. Okay. Everything seems pretty good, pretty sturdy. I'm going to get a little bit of glue and drip it around in some spots just to make sure this thing doesn't come apart on me. And then we'll start painting it up. Might need to take a break in between paint jobs on this bad boy just to make sure everything is dry. And that's okay to do that. Let's put a little bit of garbage on the ground while we're at it. I'm just using a very coarse sawdust flock that I use for like spring flowers and stuff. It's got some different colors and shit. And I think it'll make a nice look on this. You probably don't want to put it on flat spots where a mini could stand. I didn't really think of that at the time. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it adequate time to dry because I'm going to have to balm this with a black paint and stuff, and it's just going to be kind of a pain in the butt, I'm guessing. I don't know. Let me think about it for 1 second more. Spider webs, spider webs. Burning little holes. And corrugation really sells it. They're beat up and ruined. It won't look like a burn hole. It'll just look like it rusted out. So, let me see if I can get this thing painted up. Let me absorb a little bit of this excess glue, because that won't help our cause at all. Oh, Suzanne, ooh, you're all I ever want. Oh, there was a bear cap. All right. So I've hit it with a base coat of black, and then I'm going to dust it with a red primer, which is actually brown. We're going to have to hit it with the air gun to make sure it's dry at this point. We're just going to be asking for anguish and heartache. Now we're lucky because since this is a ton of different colors, we will be able to be a little playful with the paint job, because color in this world is not super common, but out here in the waste, it may be more so. I'm getting my 3 staple colors that I use for this kind of junk. That's not one of them. Let's try again. Metallic brown, red brown, pewter gray. Doesn't have to be pewter gray, it could be elephant gray. Any gray. Then we're going to get a crappy brush that we don't love. And when I say crappy brush we don't love, honestly, I love it anyways. Okay. We're going to kind of hit stuff up with that. Let me get some more water in the red. Dab around and gunk it up and give some different layers of detail. And I'm going to mix that gray in with those and make a new horrible color that no one likes. Okay. Let's dry it off. You could stop here if you wanted. If you wanted. I'm going to get a small brush. I'll get some different colors. This is a copper from the Dollar Tree, or not Dollar Tree, I'm sorry, Walmart. Something like that. We don't want to overuse anything. This is a gold. It's called pure gold. Oh, it's super gold. I'll just mix that with that crap. We'll dip in and grab my favorite color on earth. We'll hit a pipe with that too. I got this dark blue here, mountain blue. Try it out somewhere. Maybe it's pretty wet. We'll try it on this plate here. And we'll hit a pipe with it. See, a little bit of color is going to go a long way in this terrain. It really sticks out and it's noticeable. And since your party knows color is rare, potentially recovering a certain color they want or that someone wants for money could be part of an adventure hook. So don't sell yourself short on including some color. Mix that in with that gold. We'll throw that on a pipe. And I'll get a bright green. And we'll do another pipe in bright green and see what that looks like. Do this big pipe in the back with the corrugations, whatever, the bendy straw part. And then we'll mix a darker green. We'll get a darker green, not mix a darker green. And we'll do one of these pieces of corrugation on the back here. We'll make it greenish. Maybe we'll do, I don't know. I think we'll leave it. You don't want to go too far. You go too far, you start messing things up, dudes. Well, and dudettes, kids, whoever. Everybody. I'm going to get a soft makeup brush from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to get some silver. Maybe. There it is. Bring my paint thing, my camera down so I can see better. Looks like it's going to work nice. And I have a black metallic here, which is going to serve nice for oil. I guess a little bit of, oh, way more than that I wanted. Okay, whatever. We'll blow this up. Sweet. Pretty nice. It's going to make a nice piece of scatter. You got some spots where miniatures can stand. Nothing spectacular, but it adds elevation, it adds line of sight, and that's what it needs to do. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment, and all the happy crappy that helps the algorithm figure out that maybe somebody should watch this. Did I say leave a comment? I hope so. That's one of my favorite parts because I respond to those. Maybe one day I'll be so big and famous I won't. But for now I do. I've seen other YouTube channels that used to do it and stopped. So I have a real desire to keep doing it, but maybe I will get so cool that I just can't do it anymore. Let's get a little brush real quick. I have one more thing I want to do. I just want to hit these rivets a little bit. Make those pop out because we did put them there. We took a moment to make sure we had them. So let's let them show. Okay, something like that. All right. Check out the Discord and the website. Those are both linked in the description. There's also a discount code in the description that gets you 25% off your first month of Dungeon Swag Minis. And if you're curious about those, I got several videos about Dungeon Swag Minis on the channel. They're high quality, sturdy, beautiful, extremely detailed, gorgeous, gorgeous miniatures sent directly to your house monthly. 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 if they're small enough. Beautiful printed miniatures, just gorgeous. And they're not like the cheapy ones you get from other companies. They're not going to snap. They're flexible and they don't lose quality like, you know, some of the people print them and they're absolute garbage. If you've seen stuff on Etsy, it's terrible. I've ordered stuff from Etsy before we started Dungeon Swag and my heart was broken. And Tom and I have come together and made an amazing miniature working with a great artist, and I really think you guys should check it out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.